Somewhere out in deep space, a black hole ate so much information it actually became a living, intelligent being. While the void itself is not capable of higher thoughts, it behaves more like a bacteria now, absorbing and dissolving whatever falls into it for energy. We know from Akak, the sentient void manifest, that the void is actually a her, as Akak constantly refers to it as Mother Void, or as a she. Inside this sentient bacteria black hole, lines of information float about, but because the void is not capable of higher thought, this information only exists as lines of information and not as physical objects. While it hasn't been fully decided how time in the void works, we know from Leo, the punk hyena, and Deadlock, the nightmare snake, that time does indeed pass in the void. However, entire decades can pass in the void, and when the character returns to their own world, they'll find only moments have passed since they were taken. Because the void cannot make higher thoughts of its own, all information that falls to it, like people, memories, plants, life, thoughts, or any tangible concept, become compressed and simply exist as lines of information. It's only through a void ruler that these strings of information can be taken from the void's mind and turned into real things. We know from Genesis, the void ruler, that the void has existed before time itself has, and that the first blessed and victims were simply animals, like wolves and lions being the blessed, with rabbits and fawns being the victims. The void is an omnipresent entity, as characters exist within it from various different universes, such as Make, the blessed of an unidentifiable species. Ultimately, much is still not decided about the void, as a conscious pocket dimension behaving as a half-living entity brings with it a host of questions that need to be answered on a question-by-question basis. Void rulers are characters that agree to a symbiotic relationship with the void to gain powers over reality itself within the void. Void rulers come from all walks of life, and the void does not discriminate in who it siphons energy from. Void rulers often think in different ways. Genesis, the first known void ruler, considered the void a paradise utopia where death never claims you for long, where you can live forever, and other things. While rulers like Nightmare considered the void a sort of hell, and herself as the brutal ruler of that hell, where the torture never stops and you eventually forget how to feel. While both rulers believe information that is true, they come to different conclusions about what the void is to them and the people who find themselves in it. Using the powers given to the void ruler by the void rulers are tasked with creating an entire world within their mind, and using the information the void has stored inside of it to create the people and locations that were lost and claimed to the void. Void rulers can often forget things. This event tears a hole in the void ruler's mind, called a rift. Blessed and victims alike can enter a rift and leave the void, returning themselves to their homes. Rifts are one of the only known ways to leave the void. Void rulers often rule a team of hand-picked individuals to go out and generate emotion that feeds the void ruler, which also feeds the void. While all void rulers are given the same power over time and existence, some rulers are naturally stronger than others. Void rulers can also willingly remove people from the void, either to be thrown away once they can no longer feel emotions to feed both the ruler and void, or for pettier reasons. The blessed are a hand-picked team of characters who have been blessed by the void rulers, giving them a special, great power. Using this power, the blessed must create emotion, or risk being forcibly removed by the void ruler. Blessed come from various points in time, all across different universes. Blessed typically are chosen based off an unresolved internal conflict before they passed away, a grudge, an unfinished goal, a deep sadness. A blessed's powers often typically reflects the character's deep turmoil, such as Make, who drowned in his life, but is now blessed to be able to control water. Victims are hunted, killed, and used as fuel to power the void. The emotions brought on them by the blessed is what feeds the void ruler, which is what feeds the void. Although victims are not entirely helpless, as groups and factions have risen over time, and can defend themselves from a singular blast, these groups often do not share goals or ideals and frequently fight against each other. While not a fully fleshed out concept, void nemesises are a repeating phenomenon that Destiny has picked out a character who will act as a nemesis to their respective void ruler. Oftentimes, these void nemesis are extremely powerful entities that can easily defeat the demigod void ruler, who, remember, have powers over literal existence. Sweet Dreams does have a lot of in-progress novels, but it's just something I've been working on over the last couple of years. I'd like to start pushing those novels out and see if people like them, but this is just the lore, the explanation, basically the ball 1-1 of what's going on here. I think it's really awesome, and you can really tell the DBD inspiration that I had here. But, I will see you all very soon. Until then, bye now.